But I've never seen the whole pitching staff be off on the same night like Southern Miss's last night. Yes, Southern Miss pitchers last night. This is a very well-coached Christian Ostrander bullpen for Southern Miss, and they had 11 walks and 5 hit batters. I'd be willing to bet my car that doesn't happen again for the rest of the season. But don't take me up on that, because if it does, I need
Nobody
my car.
wants your car.
Nobody wants my car. But
we've had people discuss your car before. They're like, absolutely not.
You know what my car was? Cheap. That's what my car was. But yeah, that was a pretty brutal night for Southern Miss, giving up the free passes. But on the flip side, Ole Miss's lineup, this is one of those rare nights where everybody that grabbed a bat for Ole Miss got a hit last night. Literally everybody. Mormon and Sanford each had a couple of hits. Everybody else had one. Federico needs to be an everyday guy. I know he was only 1 for 4 last night, but his outs are loud. Knock on wood, he's going to strike out his first at bat on Friday. He has yet to strike out. His plate discipline is outstanding. Even his outs are good. Walked a couple of times last night as well. Putting him not only in the lineup, but leading off, I think is a great decision. He may hit a freshman wall eventually. He might, but he looks like a veteran hitter already. I would argue at the moment he's their best hitter. Just outstanding start to the season for him so far. Luke Hill continues, scored 3 runs last night, walked a couple of times, also had a hit. Ole Miss's line, that was a really good night for Ole Miss's lineup that I've had some questions about this season. Regardless of the walk numbers, that's still a Southern Miss team with a bunch of good pitchers that are well coached. And you score 15 runs and everybody in your lineup hits the ball, that's a good night for you at the plate.
Especially when you consider a week ago, USM shuts out Mississippi State 3-0, and then they turn around, they go to Oxford, and they give up 15 runs. Yeah, we talked about it in the first segment, and we'll come back to it. Ole Miss fans should be ecstatic with the start of this season. There's very little to complain about. You've got good. That's the thing about Ole Miss is, like, who has a better resume right now than Ole Miss does? Wins over Arizona, win over Clemson, now win over Southern Miss. Who do they have?
Texas is the answer.
I mean, that might be it. Yeah, I don't think Texas. Yeah, that's probably it. But still, so this is they're well on their way if they can just be a 13-win team in conference. They're going to be in the tournament, and if they can win 15, they're probably going to be in the hosting discussion. So and who knows, having a guy like Hunter Elliott out there for you on Friday nights changes your perception of everything so much, because it really puts you in a position where you can save your bullpen, and you should be winning on most of those Friday night games.
Braden Jones also had the moment of the night. Southern Miss in the top of the 6th had bases loaded. It was a 10-7 game at that point. He comes in for Gunnar Dennis, and again, bases loaded, no out. Gets ground out, pop up, strikeout, swinging to end the inning. That was a massive moment. A marbles situation, if you will, for Braden Jones. And that's big time stuff, because, one base hit and that game changes, right? Southern Miss had, 5 home runs last night, all of them solo. That totally changes the complexion of the game if they're able to just get a hit in that situation, and he shuts them down after that. Really big time stuff. Especially when this is a Southern Miss lineup that's going to hit. They've got a lot of veterans, of course. It's a good win for Ole Miss last night. Yeah. It's just one. You would love to have multiple wins over a team like Southern Miss. You'll get another chance later. But as far as midweeks go, it's hard to have a better win and feel really good about how that looked than what you got last night with that win over Southern Miss. That's a good team that they